Imagine a land where mighty kings once rode into battle with war elephants leading their armies, where fleets of ships carried warriors across seas to distant shores, and where the clash of swords was as much about protecting culture as it was about gaining power. This is the story of Tamil Nadu's military past, a story filled with courage, ambition, and timeless legacy. Tamil Nadu, in the southern part of India, has been a land where history and valor often walked side by side, especially in the times of its ancient kingdoms. Long before modern boundaries existed, this region was ruled by the great dynasties of the Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas, each leaving a lasting imprint on its cultural and military landscape. These kingdoms were not only guardians of rich traditions and thriving economies, but also fierce rivals on the battlefield. Their military encounters shaped the destiny of Tamil Nadu, influencing trade, politics, and social life for centuries. The Pandyas, with their capital in Madurai, often engaged in campaigns to extend their influence over the fertile plains and valuable coastal trade routes. The Cheras, situated in present-day Kerala and parts of western Tamil Nadu, were known for their maritime connections and their ability to command respect in regional politics through both alliances and warfare. The Cholas, who rose to prominence later, established themselves as one of the most formidable powers, with strong armies and the ambition to dominate not only the Tamil region but also lands far beyond. These kingdoms did not see warfare merely as conquest, but as a means of protecting their resources, expanding their cultural footprint, and asserting their identity against rivals. Battles were often fought near rivers, ports, and strategic hill forts, places that ensured control over trade and communication lines. Each kingdom invested in war elephants, cavalry, archers, and naval forces, turning warfare into a disciplined art as much as a tool of survival. Through these struggles, Tamil Nadu's early history unfolded as a story of constant movement, where power shifted hands but the spirit of resilience remained deeply rooted in its people and their rulers. The Chola Empire, which flourished between the 9th and 13th centuries CE, became one of the most influential powers in South Asia, largely because of its exceptional naval strength. While many kingdoms focused on land-based expansion, the Cholas understood the importance of the sea and built a navy that was both vast and disciplined. With their heartland in the fertile Kaveri Delta, they harnessed agricultural wealth to fund shipbuilding and maintain a standing naval force. Their vessels were designed for long voyages, enabling them not only to defend their coasts, but also to project power far into the Indian Ocean. The Cholas carried out successful expeditions to Sri Lanka, securing it as a key territory under their empire. Their campaigns extended further to the Maldives, where they gained strategic advantage over important sea lanes, and even to Southeast Asia, particularly the Srivijaya Empire in modern-day Indonesia and Malaysia. These expeditions were not only military in nature, but also deeply connected with trade and diplomacy, as control of maritime routes meant dominance over commerce in spices, textiles, and other valuable goods. Rajendra Chola I, one of the most celebrated rulers, is remembered for sending a massive naval expedition across the Bay of Bengal that showcased the Cholas' unmatched maritime strength. The navy also played an important role in temple endowments and cultural exchanges, as seaborne power facilitated the spread of Tamil art, architecture, and religion abroad. The Chola fleet was more than an instrument of war. It was a symbol of ambition, prestige, and identity that connected Tamil Nadu to the larger world. By mastering the seas, the Cholas transformed themselves into a global power whose influence reached distant shores and whose legacy still echoes in the maritime history of Asia. The history of Tamil Nadu's great dynasties is filled with stories of rivalry and competition with neighboring powers, each eager to secure dominance over the fertile lands and prosperous trade routes of South India. The Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas often fought among themselves, but their ambitions also brought them into constant conflict with other mighty kingdoms such as the Pallavas, the Rashtrakutas, the Hoslas, and later the Vijayanagara rulers. The Pallavas, based in Kanchipuram, were long-standing adversaries of the Cholas, and their clashes were marked by both destruction and cultural growth, as each dynasty sought to outshine the other not only in war but also in temple building and patronage of art. The Rashtrakutas from the Deccan challenged the Cholas for supremacy in the northern parts of Tamil Nadu, leading to fierce battles that shaped the region's balance of power. Later, the Cholas, who rose in Karnataka, became rivals of the Pandyas, often shifting alliances with one Tamil dynasty against another, which created a cycle of continuous warfare. These conflicts were not random outbreaks of violence, but calculated struggles for control over river valleys, ports, and sacred cities that carried political and economic importance. Armies were equipped with elephants, cavalry, and skilled archers, and the outcomes of battles often decided the fate of dynasties. While wars brought destruction, they also produced a spirit of resilience and innovation, as kingdoms fortified cities, built strategic hill forts, and developed efficient systems of governance to manage newly conquered territories. The struggle among these powers created an ever-changing political landscape where no dynasty could remain dominant forever. In this constant ebb and flow of rivalry, Tamil Nadu became a stage where ambition, strategy, and military might played out in grand scale, leaving behind legends of valor and determination. The wars between Tamil rulers and Sri Lanka stand as some of the most significant chapters in the military history of Tamil Nadu, reflecting both ambition and the strategic importance of the island. From early times, the Pandyas and Cholas recognized the wealth of Sri Lanka, with its fertile lands, rich natural resources, and its crucial position in the Indian Ocean trade network. The Cholas in particular launched repeated invasions that left a deep mark on both regions. Under Raja Chola I in the 10th century, the Chola navy crossed the sea and captured northern Sri Lanka, establishing control over Anuradhapura and asserting dominance over local rulers. His son Rajendra Chola I expanded this influence further, integrating parts of Sri Lanka directly into the Chola Empire and making it a province under imperial administration. These invasions were not just about territorial conquest, but also about controlling the pearl fisheries, trade routes, and wealth that flowed through the island. The Tamil rulers fortified key towns, built administrative centers, and spread their cultural presence, leaving behind inscriptions and temples that spoke of their authority. Yet the wars were not without resistance. Sri Lankan kings, especially Vijayabhu I, mounted strong campaigns to reclaim their independence, eventually driving out the Cholas after decades of struggle. These back-and-forth conflicts created a legacy of enmity and resilience, with both sides demonstrating extraordinary determination. The impact of these wars went beyond politics, as they facilitated cultural exchanges in art, religion, and architecture, linking Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka in ways that endured long after the battles ended. The wars with Sri Lanka thus were not isolated events, but part of a larger vision of maritime power, trade supremacy, and regional influence pursued by Tamil dynasties with unmatched persistence. When European powers began arriving on the shores of India from the 16th century onward, Tamil Nadu became one of the key regions where colonial struggles unfolded. The Portuguese were among the first to establish a presence, setting up forts and trading posts along the Coromandel coast, taking advantage of the region's thriving textile trade. Soon after, the Dutch entered the scene, competing fiercely with the Portuguese and later with other Europeans for control over ports and commerce. Tamil Nadu's strategic coastline made it a natural stage for these rivalries, and the local kingdoms often found themselves drawn into alliances or conflicts with these foreign powers. By the 18th century, the French and the British had emerged as the dominant contenders, leading to a series of confrontations known as the Carnatic Wars. These wars were fought not only between the European powers, but also involved local rulers like the Nawabs of Arcot, the Marathas, and the Mysore kingdom, who sought to use colonial alliances for their own advantage. The battles of Arcot, Wandawash, and Kudloa became decisive moments that tilted the balance in favor of the British. The French influence, though strong for a time with Pondicherry as their base, gradually declined as the British East India Company established firm control. For Tamil Nadu, these colonial encounters brought both devastation and transformation. Warfare disrupted trade and agriculture, while forts, garrisons, and naval battles scarred the landscape. At the same time, the region was drawn into global networks of commerce, politics, and culture in unprecedented ways. The legacy of these struggles was the eventual dominance of the British, who consolidated power and made Tamil Nadu a crucial part of their Indian empire, reshaping its destiny for centuries to come. The long history of wars and struggles in Tamil Nadu left behind a legacy of valor that continues to inspire generations. The courage of the ancient dynasties, whether the Cholas expanding their power across seas, the Pandyas defending their fertile lands, or the Cheras safeguarding their maritime trade, became stories that lived on through poetry, inscriptions, and temple carvings. Their victories and defeats alike were remembered not just as battles for territory, but as symbols of determination and resilience. Warriors on the battlefield, generals leading armies, and kings who risked everything for their people were celebrated as examples of honor and sacrifice. The use of war elephants, naval fleets, and well-trained soldiers demonstrated the discipline and innovation of Tamil rulers, who saw warfare as a duty tied to protecting their land and culture. Even during the colonial period, when Tamil Nadu became a center of European conflict, the bravery of local soldiers and leaders stood out as they resisted foreign domination or aligned strategically to safeguard their interests. Over time, this martial tradition blended with Tamil cultural pride, appearing in folk songs, epic literature, and temple rituals that praised heroism. The martial ethos did not remain confined to the past, but carried forward into modern times, as many from Tamil Nadu played active roles in India's freedom struggle and later in the nation's armed forces. The legacy of valor is therefore not limited to monuments or records of battles, but lives in the values of courage, perseverance, and loyalty that are deeply rooted in Tamil identity. It is a heritage that reminds the people of Tamil Nadu that strength is not just about conquest, but about resilience in the face of adversity and the will to protect one's community and culture. The story of Tamil Nadu's military history is not just about kings, battles, or shifting borders, but about a journey of courage, vision, and resilience that shaped the destiny of a people. From the rise of the great dynasties like the Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas, to the daring naval expeditions that carried Tamil influence across oceans, to the constant struggles with neighboring powers and the long wars with Sri Lanka, each chapter speaks of determination and ambition. Later, as colonial forces arrived, Tamil Nadu once again became a stage where the strength and adaptability of its rulers and people were tested, leaving behind lessons of endurance in the face of global change. What shines through all these moments is a legacy of valor, where bravery was not measured only in victory, but also in the ability to preserve identity, culture, and spirit through centuries of conflict. This history reminds us that the story of Tamil Nadu is one of resilience and pride, where the echoes of the past continue to inspire hope and strength for the future.